Heavenly battle. Lucifer's fall. In a world rife with mysteries and controversies, there exists an age-old story of rebellion and downfall. From the brilliant light of heaven to the darkness of betrayal, ancient prophecies, the truth about Bible prophecy, exploring the mysteries, decoding the prophecies. In a time long ago, when heaven shone with radiant light and overflowed with peace, there was an angel named Lucifer, known as the Light Bearer. Lucifer possessed not only exquisite beauty, but also infinite power. Each day, he offered praises to God, shining like brilliant lightning in the divine sky. However, a great ambition began to stir within Lucifer's heart. He started to wonder if he could surpass the Creator, if he could become supreme. This pride quickly transformed Lucifer into the great dragon, a symbol of arrogance and rebellion. With his words, gentle yet seductive, he persuaded other angels, convincing them that their power and light could freely transcend all limits. Together, they initiated a rebellion against God, believing they deserved a higher position. They became like the ancient serpent in the Garden of Eden, deceiving and tempting, embarking on a dark path. The war between the loyal angels and the rebellious army erupted in a flash. The light of heaven became chaotic, like lightning bolts striking down and shattering everything. The archangel Michael, leader of the faithful spirits, rose to confront Lucifer. The fierce battle didn't last long before Lucifer and his followers were cast out of heaven. Thus, as prophesied in Revelation, the great dragon, who deceives the whole world, along with his devils and Satan, was thrown down to earth. They fell in a furious storm, losing their status, power, and the light of their past. This fall was not just an image of defeat, but also a warning that pride and ambition lead to utter ruin. From then on, whenever people face temptation and stray from the path, they remember the story of Lucifer, the once brilliant angel led astray by pride, becoming a symbol of sin and temptation. The story reminds everyone that no matter how dazzling power and light may seem, only through humility and faithfulness to the Almighty can humanity find the path to salvation and divine light. Within the treasury of biblical texts, the story of Satan's fall remains a topic shrouded in mystery and debate. From the image of Lucifer, an angel created with beauty, power, and perfection, to the lightning-like scene of his expulsion from heaven, this narrative is not merely an account of an event, but also unveils profound lessons about free will, humility, and the boundless love of the Almighty. Through this, we gain a deeper understanding of the message conveyed by the Bible, as well as why God didn't destroy Satan from the beginning, a question that perplexes many. Satan, according to Christian tradition, was initially an angel created by God for praise and worship. However, due to pride and ambition exceeding all bounds, Satan rebelled and was cast out of heaven. In Hebrew, the word Satan means adversary or accuser, reflecting Satan's nature as one who constantly craves power and displays a rebellious attitude toward divine order. The name Lucifer, meaning light bearer, was once attributed to Satan as a reminder of the beauty, wisdom, and noble position he once held before his fall. Upon careful examination, this reveals a significant contradiction: the transformation from a perfect angel into a symbol of evil and temptation. This change is not merely a story of lost power, but also a testament to spiritual transformation when pride erupts. Biblical passages, especially in the book of Revelation and Isaiah's prophecies, paint a vivid picture of Satan's fall. The image of lightning, or the dragon, symbolizes the speed and intensity of his descent from heaven, a scene both beautiful and tragic. Through this, The Bible emphasizes that although Satan once possessed power, it was pride that led to his complete downfall. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit. While this passage was initially understood as a taunt against the king of Babylon, many scholars later connected it to the image of Lucifer, the light bearer. In this passage, Lucifer is described as having become proud, assuming the power to ascend to heaven and raise his throne above the stars of God. However, this pride led to severe consequences as he was cast down to the realm of the dead. This is a warning that even those who were once radiant, if consumed by pride, will inevitably face destruction. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Here, the Bible describes a war in heaven, where Michael and his loyal angels fight against the dragon, a symbol of Satan. After a fierce battle, the dragon and his accompanying angels lose their place in heaven and are cast down to earth. The image of lightning, or the sudden fall, emphasizes the speed and intensity of the downfall, showing how, from a position of ultimate power, Satan is instantly defeated due to pride and overreaching ambition. Referring to the dragon as that ancient serpent directly links this to the story in Genesis where the serpent deceived Eve in the Garden of Eden. This not only depicts deception, but also emphasizes the root of temptation, creating continuity between the old era and the new in the battle between good and evil. Who leads the whole world astray emphasizes Satan's influence not just as an isolated entity, but as one who deceives and misleads the entire world. He causes people to stray, diverting them from God's path, drawing millions into the vortex of sin and chaos. This symbolic imagery doesn't just describe a prophetic event, but also serves as a metaphor for the irreversible change when humans or divine beings lose their humility. From this, the lesson of self-destruction through pride is clearly illustrated. According to biblical accounts, Satan was initially a powerful angel, granted a high position in heaven by God. However, as greed and pride swelled within him, he decided to elevate himself to a position equal to the Creator. Satan's rebellion is depicted through majestic scenes. The rebellion is not just an individual act, but a war involving many angels who sided with him. Scriptures like Revelation vividly portray the scene where angels loyal to God battle Satan and his followers. The image of a giant dragon, representing Satan, along with thousands of accompanying spirits, creates a haunting picture of destruction and the loss of divine values. The image of lightning, as Satan falls from heaven, is not just a symbol of the speed of change, but also contains the message that even the highest beings are not immune to the consequences of pride. Along with that, the image of the dragon, a mythical creature associated with fierceness and destruction, further highlights the destructive nature of the fall. Through these descriptions, the Bible conveys the message that the fall is not just a prophetic event, but also a warning to each individual. If we don't maintain humility, we can also push ourselves onto the path of self-destruction. The images of the dragon and lightning serve as reminders that power and beauty are not eternal if we allow pride to consume us. One of the core questions many people ask is why God didn't destroy Satan immediately after his rebellion. The answer lies in the concept of free will that God grants to all beings. From the beginning, God gave angels and humans the ability to decide for themselves, allowing them to choose the path of good or evil. If God had intervened immediately by destroying Satan, it would have meant eliminating the opportunity for choice, one of the most precious spiritual values he intended to bestow. God allows Satan's existence as part of a comprehensive plan of redemption, to test and strengthen human faith. God's mercy is also a crucial factor. He not only grants freedom, but also hopes that even beings who have chosen wrongly, like Satan, can recognize their mistakes and return. Not immediately destroying Satan demonstrates the Almighty's tolerance and boundless love, even in the face of betrayal and sin. Many biblical passages offer clues to explain God's actions. In Revelation, although Satan is cast into the abyss, it doesn't mean he is completely destroyed. The image of the bottomless pit represents the temporary existence of the fallen, a period during which God still allows Satan and his accomplices to exist, to fulfill a greater purpose in his plan of redemption. Passages like those in Isaiah and John also mention that God can redeem life, even in the darkest times. This suggests that his actions always contain a message of salvation, tolerance, and a comprehensive plan that transcends immediate punishment. Through this, we understand that Satan's existence, although a symbol of sin and rebellion, still has a place in the divine picture that God weaves for humanity. In Isaiah, we see the message of God's tolerance and salvation emphasized through prophecies of restoration and atonement. In Isaiah 53, the image of the Messiah being pierced for our transgressions not only speaks of suffering, but also implies that through these wounds, God brings healing and restoration to humanity. This shows that even in dark and sinful circumstances, there is a plan of redemption, a complete restoration that God always promises to those who return to Him. These prophecies remind people that immediate punishment is not His ultimate goal. Instead, He desires to bring new life and hope to all. This refers to the prophecy in Isaiah about Jesus dying for salvation. In the New Testament, especially through Jesus' words in the Gospel of John, the message of redeeming life is clearly expressed. John 3:16 affirms that God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, so that whoever believes in Him should not perish but have eternal life. This statement not only speaks of eternal salvation, but also emphasizes that even in the darkest moments, when all hope seems lost, God's love always opens a path to life and light. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Jesus affirms that He came to give people abundant life. This shows that His presence brings faith, comfort, and restoration to the human soul. Even though the world is filled with the darkness of sin and suffering, God's promise of salvation always exists as a guiding light, helping each person rediscover the true value of life. Within the context of God's plan of redemption, Satan is not just a rebel, but also a test of human faith. His existence forces every believer to confront temptations and spiritual challenges that Satan's presence brings. Through this, people are encouraged to choose between good and evil, between humility and pride. The story of Satan's fall has become a symbol of the inner struggle within each person. Whenever faced with difficult decisions, every believer can remember the image of an angel who was once noble, but self-destructed through greed and pride. Through this, the lesson of choice and the consequences of each decision are emphasized, helping people understand that only by maintaining faith and humility can they overcome all temptations. One of the clearest demonstrations of Satan's role in the plan of redemption is the temptations Jesus faced when He entered the desert. During 40 days of facing temptations from Satan, Jesus affirmed His faith and absolute loyalty to God. Each temptation, each invitation from Satan, is a test that helps people recognize the value of free choice, a choice that cannot be coerced, but can only be made voluntarily and sincerely. The lesson we draw from these trials is not limited to the spiritual level, but extends to everyday life. When faced with difficult decisions or temptations from distorted values, each person needs to remember that faithfulness and humility will lead them to the path of salvation. Therefore, Satan, although a symbol of sin, also contributes to the process of refining and strengthening the faith of each believer. One of the most captivating and dramatic aspects of the fall narrative is the divine battle between the loyal angels and Satan and his army. According to biblical passages, this battle is not just a clash of power, but also symbolizes the fight between light and darkness, good and evil. The image of an angelic army led by Michael confronting Satan, embodied as a giant dragon, has become a powerful symbol in Christian culture. This battle not only takes place in the heavenly realm, but also conveys the message that no matter how fearsome Satan's power may seem, ultimately, God's divine power always prevails. The book of Revelation provides vivid symbolic imagery of the final battle between good and evil. The image of Satan being cast into the bottomless pit is not only the result of a battle, but also a warning to humanity about the consequences of pride and rebellion. These symbols highlight the absoluteness of faith and the steadfastness of God in all circumstances. And I saw an angel coming down out of heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. He seized the dragon, that ancient serpent, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. He threw him into the abyss and locked and sealed it over him to keep him from deceiving the nations anymore until the 1,000 years were ended. After that, he must be set free for a short time. The angel bound Satan and cast him into the abyss to prevent him from further deceiving and tempting the nations. This imagery not only represents God's victory, but also serves as a warning that all acts of rebellion, even those originating from immense power, will ultimately be punished. And the devil, who deceived them, was thrown into the lake of burning sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet had been thrown. They will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Satan's ultimate fate, being cast into the lake of fire and eternally exiled, reinforces the message that evil cannot eternally endure in the face of God's light and justice. The spiritual battle is also understood as an ongoing internal spiritual process within each person, where every believer must constantly fight against temptations and negative thoughts to maintain their faithfulness to the Almighty. Thus, the image of the battle is not just evidence of the past, but also motivation for people to persevere in pursuing a righteous path. Satan's fall not only impacted the order of heaven, but also had a profound effect on human life. When Satan rebelled and fell, the image of pride and temptation was powerfully conveyed to the world. The consequences of the fall are not limited to individual sins, but spread to relationships, social structures, and even the economy. In spiritual life, Satan's existence as a symbol of temptation has become a trial that helps people stay vigilant and maintain humility. Believers are reminded that, regardless of the circumstances, only by holding fast to their faith, confronting and overcoming temptation, can they move toward salvation and divine light. Through the story of the fall, the Bible conveys a profound message. Pride goes before destruction. This warning applies not only to angels, but also to every human being. Humility is the core virtue that helps us recognize our limitations and remember that true power comes from faithfulness and trust in God. In the modern context, where material values and fame easily deceive people, the lesson from the fall becomes more essential than ever. Maintaining humility and gratitude for simple things will help each person avoid the path of pride and self-destruction. The biblical passages related to Satan's fall offer us different perspectives on rebellion and its consequences. From the book of Revelation to the prophecies in Isaiah, Every word contains mysteries and profound messages. These excerpts not only recount historical events, but also open up reflections on the nature of free will, mercy, and God's plan of redemption. In Revelation 12, the image of Satan being cast into the bottomless pit represents both the destruction caused by pride and symbolizes the time during which the fallen still exist as part of the divine plan. Along with that, passages in Isaiah warn about the consequences of pride and turning away from divine light. Biblical prophecy is not just about future events, but also contains lessons about morality and spirituality. The prophecies about Satan's fall, though seemingly tragic, contain a message of salvation and God's mercy. Prophecy serves as a mirror reflecting the consequences of pride, while reminding people that even when they fall into darkness, the light of faith and redemption always exists. Through these prophecies, believers are encouraged not to be complacent with their power or outward appearance, but to live with humility, appreciating the spiritual values that God has bestowed. This not only helps maintain a strong relationship with the Almighty, but also serves as the key to overcoming all spiritual challenges. The message the Bible conveys through this story is a reminder of the importance of living with faithfulness, humility, and faith. Despite facing temptations and great trials, each person needs to remember that divine power does not come from pride, but from faithfulness to God. Consider the story of the fall as a lesson about always cherishing inner values, so that each person can find light and salvation in life. In our current age, when material temptations and the pursuit of fame easily lead people astray, the story of Satan's fall becomes more relevant than ever. It is not only a warning, but also motivation for us to strive for sincerity, simplicity, and cherish our relationship with God. Let the lessons from the past pave the way for the future, where everyone can find the right path, overcome darkness, and move towards the light of faith. Ultimately, all events, however tragic they may seem, are part of God's vast plan of redemption. Hopefully, the insights shared in this video have helped you better understand the prophecies in the Bible and strengthen your faith in God. And be sure to check out other related videos to explore more mysteries and truths about the prophecies in the Bible. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and share it to spread the message of love and hope. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss our latest videos about the Bible, prophecy, and truth. Thank you for watching.